A fair die is rolled 12 times and x is the number of sixes that could result. Find the mean and standard deviation of the x distribution. So the first thing to notice is that we have a binomial situation going on. I know that because, well, the 12 time, doing something 12 times and finding the number of things it happens, that kind of sounds very binomial, like 12 being n, the number of trials. And then we're looking at the number of times something happened, the number of sixes that happens. We also have on each trial is independent of each other. Each trial is independent of one another because the dice has no memory effectively. Each roll is like a fresh start for the dice or for the die. And also each trial has a fixed probability of success. So in theory, we don't know anything else about this dice to suggest that we shouldn't use a probability of 1/6 to get the 6. And also, there are only two things that can happen on each roll. There is success. Success is getting a 6, and there's failure, getting a not 6. So let's define the random variable. So let x be the random variable the number of sixes. Number of sixes rolled. Okay, so now we need to say, how is x distributed? Well, x, I've just said, is binomial, so you can write bin. I will write bin, you can write b if you like. And then we need the number of trials, n, which is this 12 times we roll it, and then the probability, np. Probability is the probability of rolling a 6. In theory, must be 1/6. So now we have been asked for the mean and the standard deviation. Well, the mean, which is kind of mu, is ex, which is np. So that must be 12 times 1/6. 1/6 of 12 is 2. So you would expect, if your best guess, or your mean over a long time of repeating this experiment many times, you would expect 2 6s every 12 rolls. Right, we need to find the standard deviation. Well, what we can do is find the variance. So the variance of x, in the formula book, it says equals np 1 minus p. So that must be 12 times p is 1/6 times 1 minus p, well, it's 1 minus 1/6, so that must be 5/6. Well, we already know that 12 times 1/6 is 2, so 2 times 5/6, which is 10/6, which is 5/3. That's the variance. So the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So sigma, standard deviation of x, is going to be the square root of 5/3, which we will need a calculator for, and that comes out as 1.29. So the mean is 2, and the standard deviation 1.29.